I don't want my children to grow up in a world where we paved the landscapes and lost touch with the seasons and the tides and the things that connect them to the 10,000 generations of human beings that lived before there were laptops and that connect them ultimately to God. And I don't believe that nature is God or that we ought to be worshiping it as God, but I do believe that it's the way that God talks to us most forcefully. And God talks to human beings through many vectors, through each other, through organized religion, through the great books of those religions, through wise people, through art and literature and poetry and music, but nowhere with such force and detail and clarity and texture and grace and joy as through creation. We don't know Michelangelo by reading his biography. We know him by looking at the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. And we know our Creator best by immersing ourselves in creation, and particularly wilderness, which is the undiluted work of the Creator. And, you know, and if you look at every religious tradition throughout the history of mankind, the central epiphany always occurs in the wilderness. Buddha had to go to the wilderness to experience nirvana and self-realization. Muhammad had to go to the wilderness of Mount Hera in 609 and climb to the summit in the middle of the night on a camping trip with his family to wrestle the angel Gabriel there and have the Quran squeezed from him. Moses had to go to the wilderness of Mount Sinai for 40 days alone to get the commandments. The Jews had to spend 40 years wandering the wilderness to purge themselves of the 400 years of slavery in Egypt. Christ had to go to the wilderness for 40 days alone to discover his divinity for the first time. His mentor was John the Baptist, who lived in a cave in the Jordan Valley and dressed in the skins of wild beasts and ate honey and locusts. And all of Christ's parables are taken from nature. I am the vine, you are the branches, the mustard seeds, the little swallows, the scattering the seeds on the fallow ground, the lilies of the field. He called himself a fisherman, a farmer, a vineyard keeper, a shepherd. The reason he did that, and it's the same reason all the Old Testament prophets did it, and the Talmudic prophets, and the Quranic prophets, and the Upanishad prophets, all the way back to the pagan prophets like Aesop. All of them came out of the wilderness, and all of them used parables and allegories and fables drawn from nature as morality plays to teach us the difference between right and wrong and what the face of God looks like.